Hey everyone, this is Vikas Baghel, a software engineer at Google, and welcome back to my YouTube channel VB Codes. Today I'm going to discuss about a very important topic in software engineering, which is Git. No matter if you are a professional, a beginner, or a student, you must know the concept of Git and GitHub very clearly. So we will start from very basic and step by step learn how to use Git. So without further ado, let's start. We will divide this video into three parts. First, we will see why we need Git. Second, we will see what exactly is Git. And third, how to use Git. So the first question arises is why we need Git. Let's assume a situation where you are working on a project and let's call it project X. And it has a couple of files in it. Let's call them file 1, file 2, file 3. And now you want to modify this file 2 and add some lines to it. So you edited it and now it becomes file 2 asterisk. Let's assume you made some mistake in file 2 and want to go back to the previous stage. So what are the options you have? You can line by line explore file 2 and try to restore the file 2 back, which is again a very tedious process, and there are chances that you will again make some mistake and it will be very difficult to restore the stage of file 2. So here we identified one problem that Git helps us to solve, that is version controlling. Git helps us in maintaining all the versions of the file, and using Git you can easily restore the previous version of your projects. Now let's assume your project gets big enough and there's another developer called Rahul who also starts working on the same project. And he modified this file 3. Now, how you both will collaborate? So one option is you manually, every time you make a change, you ask him for all the changes that he made and you copy those changes and then made the same changes in your local repository. Again, it's a very tedious process and there will be chances that you might make some changes and it will be very difficult to collaborate. So another problem that Git helps us to solve is easy collaboration. We saw two use cases of Git. First one is version controlling and second is easy collaboration. Second, we will see what is Git. So Git is a open source version control system. We'll try to understand these each word separately. What is open source and what is version control system? Open source basically means that this software is available freely and you can download it without paying any charges and you can even contribute to it. So its code is available. So this is what open source means. And second, a version control system. So from an example, it's clear exactly what is a version control system. It lets you get to the previous state of your project and you can see all the changes that you made and you are able to restore those changes. So this is exactly what Git helps you to do. Another term that we are going to hear regularly is GitHub. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a cloud-based Git repository which lets you store all your Git projects in cloud so that you can easily collaborate with other people as well as you can store your projects. Next, we will see how to use Git. So the first step is to download Git. And to download Git, you can go to git-scm.com. Here you can go to download section, and according to your operating system you can download it. For me it will be Windows. Since I already have Git installed in my system, I will not be downloading it, but you can go ahead and download according to your operating system. So the third step, we will do some hands-on example on how to use Git. So let me go to the folder where I want to create my project. So here we can open Git bash. Open Git bash here. I'll keep both these windows side by side so it will be easier for you to visualize. Okay, let's make a new folder and call this project X. Then we will go into our project, and as you can see it's empty now. To start a new Git project, we first need to do git init. This creates a .git folder in our project, which is a hidden file and where all the changes of your local Git repository will be stored. We will talk more about .git folder later on. Okay, suppose I created a couple of files in my project X, like the example that we discussed about. Let's make a file called introduction.txt, and let's add some text here. Hello everyone, my name is Vikas, and let's save it. Now let's create another file, git example. This is an example text, and let's save this as well. So now we have two files. First one is git example and second is introduction. Now all these changes are in a working directory. So how we save all these changes in Git repository? So there are two steps to it. In first step, we push all these modified files to a staging area, and then from staging area we finally commit them. At any time you want to know the status of your repo, what you need to do git status. Okay, so we can see a couple of lines that came. We will one by one see every line and see what does it means. So it says on branch master with no commits yet, and there are couple of untracked files. We'll talk about what does this on branch master means later on. First, let's notice that there are two files, two untracked files. So what does untracked means? It means that the changes that you made are all local and are yet not saved, or we can say these changes are not committed. So before committing them, we need to track these files and add them to the staging area. And as you can see that this can be done using git add. So what we can do is we can do git add and then the file name. So I'll add introduction file, git add introduction, and if I again do git status, now you can see a file introduction.txt is in the staging area, and you can see the changes to be committed. It's still not committed, but it's in the staging area, whereas git example.txt is still not tracked. Let me clear the screen out. Okay, again let's see what is the status. Okay, so we have our introduction file ready to be committed, and our git example is still not tracked. So I'll add our other file also, git add example.txt, and if I do git status again, okay, so now both the files are in the staging area. Next, we need to commit these changes. To commit all these changes, we will use git commit -m, where -m represents message with which we want to commit these changes. So message will be first commit, and it's done. So we made two changes and both of these are committed. As you can see, master, root commit, first commit. Okay, let's see what git status now gives us. On branch master, nothing to commit. So this means that all the changes that we did in our local repository are now saved. We can also check what are the different commits that we made using git log. So these are the commit. This is the commit hash, author, and date. Now let's try to again make some other commits. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open my introduction file and let's try to change this file and add some lines here. This is the modified text and let's save it. Okay, so I modified my introduction.file and let's see what git status tells us. Okay, it tells us that we have modified the introduction.txt file, and to again save it we first need to add it and then commit it. So what we can do is git add introduction.txt and then we can do git commit -m and second commit. Let's do git status. Okay, now everything is committed. Let's clear it out and do git log. It tells us that we made a first commit. On the top of that we made a second commit. Now assume you want to go back to the previous commit and see how the file looks. For this we can use git checkout. Then you will need the commit hash. So for example, if I want to go back to my first commit, then I'll copy this commit hash and paste it here. And I'm in my previous version. Let's check my introduction file. Nano introduction. Okay, so here you can see that it doesn't have the modified line that I added there. It only has hello everyone, my name is Vikas. So this is how you can go back to your previous commit. And now if you wanna again go back to your second commit, what you can do is git checkout space hyphen, and now you have the latest commit. So if I do git log, I can see, okay, so the second commit is here. Let's clear it out and check the files. Nano introduction.txt. Okay, so here's a modified file. I will be ending this video here and we will be talking in more details about the other concepts of Git in the next video. I hope you like this video, and if you do, hit that like and subscribe button and share the video with your friends and family. This is Vikas Baghel signing off.